For almost 5 months, the writers have been on strike in an industry that's failing in every single aspect, whether it's box office, whether it's streaming, whether it's linear television. Everything is down right now. Like, these studios are losing a shit ton of money, in large part because the content has been dog shit. And the writers have a big part to do with that. But they decided that we're worth more, Jeremy. We need more money. We need more benefits. We need more guarantees. We need more jobs. We need all this stuff. We need more. And for almost 5 months, 146 days, they've been on strike. It looks like that is finally coming to an end. We heard a bunch of rumors throughout the weekend that we thought it was going to happen Thursday, then Friday, then Saturday. Finally, late yesterday, it's official. It's a deal. WGA and AMPTP, so basically the studios, reached tentative agreement to end the writers' strike. Now, the reason it's a tentative agreement is because the unions are negotiating. They're representing the rest of the union. It has to go to a vote, all this shit. Probably will be ratified within the next couple days, but it's not like this is a guarantee it's done. But in all likelihood, it's probably a done deal, as a lot of these people are fucking living in their cars at this point. Of course, they're going to vote to go back to work. But that means that very soon you're going to get your late night shows back. These people are going to go back to writing almost immediately. And then the studios still have to get the actors to agree. That seems like that's probably going to happen pretty quickly. But after 5 months and really no care from the general public, it looks like Hollywood's finally going to get back to work.
The point that you made right there was that the general public really doesn't care. And I think they realize the general public doesn't care. There's way too much going on. Dude, if this would have happened in the 80s, this would have happened in the 90s, this height during the summer and all of this stuff, I mean, you felt it back then when these moments would happen. You know what I mean? It's almost like baseball when they go on strike, or when the NBA or NFL, when those things happen, you felt it back then. You know what I mean? It mattered when this source of entertainment goes away. It mattered. It had weight. Nowadays, with social media, with streaming services, with video games, with YouTube, no one gives a shit anymore. You're not that important. The celebrity doesn't matter like it used to. It doesn't matter. It used to matter. It doesn't anymore.
Entertainment used to be appointment viewing. You didn't just have Netflix that you could turn on and have access to 9 seasons of every show or whatever. It used to be, okay, if I want to watch this show, I need to tune in Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern on NBC for the days that it's airing. Like, that's it. That's when you get to watch it.
Yep.
So it used to matter when things went on strike, when things weren't airing. That used to be a big deal. Now people have so many options, and you don't have to watch it immediately. You can watch it pretty much at any time. That's one of the reasons as well that people just don't care.
We don't know any details yet. And Ryan, you're right. Like, they still have to vote on it. It's asking.
Probably going to clear. Like,
it's probably going to clear. And this is just speculative for me right now. Kind of the word on the street is it's not that different of a deal than it was a few months ago. And it's like right now they're arguing over the AI language. So they made agreements on AI, and I'm guessing they made agreements on something they still don't completely understand. And they're trying to hammer out the language on it, which is going to be hard. That's going to be really hard because you cannot stop AI. It's going to change the industry completely in the next 2 years. 2 years. And that's why they were rushing to this deal. But it's the minimum writer's room thing. And it looks like that they're probably going to get some sort of minimum writer's room. But the thing was, the corporations were doing that anyway. They were doing that anyway, especially not just minimums of people, but minimums of identity.
You need to have 40% BIPOC in the writer's room. And they look at the landscape and they realize, well, only fucking 15% of writers in the WGA meet those requirements, which means you're digging through the bottom of the barrel in terms of talent to find people just because they're a certain skin color or ethnicity or whatever, which means your writing room is degraded. I think that all these fucking things, like, there's probably going to be some people that are happy about all this stuff that are not going to be able to get jobs, because I don't think that over the next couple of years, we're going to see the same number of TV shows and series being produced. A lot of these streaming services are going to collapse or like be bought up by other things. So there's not going to be as much content needed. And also, they've already admitted we have to slow down on content because we're losing so much money. So you're going to go from 500 or 600 series per year being produced to like 400 or 300, which means congratulations on your better guarantees. Probably the bottom 40% of these people aren't going to have jobs available to fill in the next couple of years.
And this was the plan before the strike. They were going to cut down how many shows they were going to make, because it was purely a financial decision. They couldn't afford it. It was, guess what? Unsustainable. Who's been saying that for years? I think some of us might have been saying this for years, that this model is unsustainable. So you're absolutely right, Ryan. The WGA is going to come out and go, we won, except there'll be fewer people to pay. So the minute the WGA walked out, the producers won. And by the way, that doesn't change. The producers and the corporations control the money. They were never going to lose. It's just how much they're willing to give up. And it's scraps to them. It's quite frankly scraps. The biggest losers are going to be below the line workers, theaters, any peripheral business attached to Hollywood, and a lot of untalented writers who are not going to have jobs now. Does that mean we're not going to get crap? Oh, of course, we're still going to get crap, just maybe not as much of it. That's about it.
And then those comments that Bob Iger said, which I still don't know how seriously to take them, about the culture war is not good for business and all of that stuff. I feel like that's him trying to realize what's been going on forever. But I also don't believe that there's as much substance to that as a lot of people believe, because we've heard Bob Iger run his mouth a lot. And I feel like that's kind of in line with a lot of studios.
I'm sure that Bob Iger wants to quiet down the culture war. They just mean that they want to go back to not being so blatant and upfront about it. They still want to push transgender bullshit. They're just maybe won't advertise it before they do, not as hard. Like, do you think that Disney is going to not have these fat bearded male freaks in dresses greeting little girls to help them become princesses at Disney World? No, of course they're not. They're still going to do that shit. Like they're not really going to change anything they're doing. Maybe they'll be a little more tactful about how they push it now that they've realized how unpopular it is. That's what they mean by quiet down. They don't mean change what they're doing. They mean change how it's being presented.
Maybe they'll keep people from taking pictures at Disneyland. I don't know how else you quiet it down, but you're right. Disney is not going to change.